and merry meet. My name is Laura Greenwood, and I am a Springfield local pagan. And to celebrate Pagan Pride Day this year, I've decided to make a video about one of my favorite topics, tarot cards. And I plan on going over a tarot spread that's new to me. I am delighted to have found this. It's coming from one of my favorite deck creators and artists, Danielle Noel, or Noel. I apologize because I'm not familiar with how to pronounce it. She authored the Book of Tarot as a companion for her tarot deck, the Star Child Tarot. So I dug into that book and I found this spread, even though I will be using her Moonchild Tarot with it. I believe that it's definitely interchangeable, and it's so wonderful because both of her tarot decks have similar artistic features. They are photo manipulations. They include a lot of subdued pastel colors. She'll add architecture from around the world. Some of my favorite are her Egyptian motifs and designs. And just the colors she uses and the poses she uses really spoke to me. So as soon as I found out about this tarot deck, I knew it was one that I really wanted. Okay, so the magician looks like someone I know. That's a little weird for me, but I still think the art is great, and I'm so grateful to have purchased this deck. So the spread that I found is called the Higher Self, Shadow Self spread, and she treats it as a spread that will go into the higher self and the shadow self for information at the same time. I can get a little bit of information from maybe my cosmic connection, my relationship to divinity, and then I can also go in a little bit below that into my shadow self and deal with repeating patterns and archetypes, maybe some of the negative aspects of myself. And I really appreciate she put both of those in one tarot spread. To me, that is something I really appreciate. So to get started, I'm just going to cleanse the area with a little bit of incense and my handbell. Singing bowl, my apologies, not handbell. This is not something I do every time before I read, but when I want to deepen my reading and really get the most out of it, I need to treat it with the respect that it deserves. So I want to set the area, clear my mind a little bit, and just be ready for what the cards have in store. The way she sets this reading up, it's 9 cards total, and she wants you to first pick the significator, and I chose the Moonchild, after which this deck is named. The Moonchild card spoke to me because it focuses on magic, ritual, connection, abundance, and manifestation. I'll read this little blurb here. Standing beneath the crescent of the Moonchild rests in quiet contemplation, feeling the transition of the phases of this great celestial body. Always in her orbit, pulling at her emotions and pushing her in creative directions. She knows she is deeply in tune with its shimmering light. And I thought that was beautiful. The picture also evokes the idea of maybe a beauty and free spirit. This definitely looks like it walked out of the 1960s, you know, the hippie children or flower children, and I think Danielle has taken that a step further, deepening that connection to the moon and emotions and unseen forces. I just love the flowers in her hair. Makes me think of something you'd see in San Francisco a couple of decades ago. Danielle has the reading with two possible starting places, either on the higher self side or the lower shadow self side, and she lets the person doing the reading decide which one they would like to start at. I'm going to start at my higher self side. I will draw a card and then go over the meanings for that. Now, I did modify this a little bit from what was in the book. I think I rewrote them to maybe be a little bit more clear and match a description that I'm more familiar with. Um, Sometimes when you're doing a spread, it'll ask like 3 or 4 questions for one position. I like to keep it simple. I just want maybe one question or one meaning associated with a position. So the first position on the higher self is, what can I expect in the near future? 6 of Swords. Second position, what areas should I explore? The Emperor. What do my guides want me to know? Judgment. What can I do to nurture myself? Two of Wands. And then moving into the shadow self side of things. If the higher self in this spread was associated with the near future, this will be shadow influences from the past. King of Swords. What are shadow patterns that are repeating? The Lovers. Where is my shadow presenting itself? The Nine of Cups. And how can I cope, deal with, accept, and understand the situation? The Six of Pentacles. Now that last one did have a couple of interchangeable words there. I think in the original spread, it is, how can I release my fears, in this last position. And I don't necessarily think that all shadow work or shadow self issues are caused from fear. I wanted a position and meaning that would maybe get to the end goal with acceptance and understanding and integration. So I took that fear part out. Even though it might be something I do need to release, I just wanted a more broad topic for what it could be. We'll go over these a little bit in detail. Starting on the higher self side of things. What to expect in the near future in this position. Something coming up soon. That's a lot of swords. Moving over what to explore, areas that I maybe want to seek out, something that calls to me. The Emperor, the little fern right here. What do my guides want me to know? Judgment. There's some of that Egyptian motif. And then what can I do to nurture myself? Two of Wands. Down to the shadow self. Shadow influences from the past. King of Swords. Ooh, his hair is chainmail. I don't know what I think about that. Shadow patterns that are repeating themselves, the Lovers. I think this is a great question. Where is my shadow self presenting in my waking life? This is something that can come from the subconscious, and it can sneak into our waking life before we even realize what it is. And then lastly, how to cope or deal with this. I don't want to go into interpretations right now. I just wanted to share the spread, and I think that it has lots of opportunity in it for self-reflection. I think it's a great spread to deal with issues that maybe you do know about and are astral or divinely connected, and issues that maybe are hidden for good reasons. And they shouldn't be ignored, but instead explored and understood a little bit better. So, thank you for joining me to hear about the Higher Self and the Shadow Self spread by Daniel Noel. I hope everyone has a nice day. Bye-bye.